So my Delta owo soup is ready. Can you guys see how the soup is looking? So the soup is ready. So here are my ingredients for the owo soup. So here I have starch, and it is a must. You must use starch. I have dry pepper, salt to taste, seasoning, and I have account, or in English it is called potash. So I also have my garri. This is called garri. This is also needed. This is the dried catfish. I washed them and deboned them already. Here I have my crayfish. So here I have the meat already boiled, goat meat, and the cow leg. I also deboned the cow leg. So here I have my stockfish already boiled, and I have my palm oil. So let's just dive into the cooking. Welcome back, welcome back. How you guys doing? I know and I believe you guys are doing great wherever you are. So today I'm going to be coming up with a recipe, and this recipe is coming from the Delta people. So I'm going to be making a Delta state soup, and the name of this soup is called owosoup. So this is going to be Delta recipe. Why I say so, because we have different type of recipe. We have the Benin owosoup. We have the, no, I think the Benin and the Delta owosoup. So this is going to be the Delta owosoup, and in here I have goat meat and I have stockfish, and yeah, there's another pot here. Let me just pot. I have my cow skin, cow leg. Cow leg is boiling here. I don't want to boil them together, so I am using goat meat. It's for this recipe, goat meat and cow leg. So in here I have the stockfish already, so I'm going to like let them boil together. So I'll add my onion. So I want to like first of all steam it so that the juice is going to come out. So I had seasoning cube, some salt. So I will steam it and allow the water. As you can see, we have water below. I didn't add any water, so this is the water that is coming out of the goat meat. I want that water to like come out and dry. Then I'm going to add water into it. This is how I want it to look like. I want it to steam dry. So now it has finished steaming dry. So I'll go ahead and add water into it so that the goat meat can cook properly. You can use any meat of your choice. This is the meat of my choice. You can use cow meat, beef meat. You can use any meat of your choice. You can also use only fish if you want. You can just go with whatever suits you. So I'll go ahead and add my boiling water so that the goat meat can cook very well. You know, goat meat is very hard, and stockfish is also hard. That is why I added the stockfish earlier. Here I have my dry catfish. So without this catfish, this owo soup will not be like will not be like yummy. So this is very, very, very important in cooking owo soup, dried catfish. So I will just pour hot water to like disinfect it. So this hot water is also very important to disinfect your dry catfish. So I will just add in some salt, and this I learned it from my mother. This is how she used to like disinfect fish whenever she buys them from the market. So I'll just leave them here to like rest. I'll cover them up so that it can disinfect properly before I'll come and clean them. Add my oil into the pot. This is the meat stock. I added water into it. So you're just going to add water the way you want your soup to like be like, to the portion that you like really needed your soup to be. So I just add my palm oil like so. so I'll just leave it to boil. So while that is boiling, I'll go ahead and add some water into this garri. Water into the garri. I'll just leave it like this so that later I will sieve out the top of it because we don't need that. So now what I want to do next is the starch. So this starch, I'm going to like add this potash, the account, into the starch like this, and I'll mix it properly and add water into it so that later I'll use it as my thickening. So the garri and this starch will be as the thickening and the account that is added there already. My pepper, crayfish, so the salt and the seasoning will go last. So what I'm going to add now is my garri. So I'll just go ahead and like sieve the top. See the top, we don't need that, so we'll sieve it out. So I'll go ahead and add the garri now. Just add and stir very well. Let me see how it's doing, then I'll know if I will have the remaining. No, I know I want it to be thick, but not too thick. Let me add one more to it. That should be enough. So I'll go ahead and add my dry fish. Stockfish. Now we'll add my meat. And I'll allow that to cook. Just leave it there to like cook, to boil for like 10 minutes. I think I need to still add more water because my meat is much. So let me just add some little boiling water so that the soup will not be like too thick, full of meat and no water. So yeah, I added water, so just allow this to like cook very well. Garri into this soup is to make it to be very thick so that it can last, because if you don't add garri to it and you're making a big portion like this for party, for whatever your purpose of making it, you don't add garri, the soup is not going to be very thick, because later even if you add only starch, it's going to be, later it can melt off. So it's better you add garri. That's the reason of adding garri. So now I'll go ahead and add my potash mixed with the starch. So as you're adding, you're stirring like so. So this is the reason of mixing it with water, because at the end you have some dirt like this and you don't want that in your soup. So here we got our owosoup, the Delta type of owo. So this is actually different from the Benin owosoup, because the Benin owosoup they add tomato. The Delta they don't add tomato. So we'll allow this to cook. Later we'll test for salt and we'll add salt and some seasoning cube. So I will reduce the heat now because I don't want it to get burned. Okay. And I want to remove the head of the catfish. So I'm going to remove that so I'll be able to like stir it very well, because I can feel some of this head getting scattered in the pot. So let me just take them out. I don't want them to get scattered like this. Okay. Left for me, I'll just throw this all this head away. But my husband loves this, the head of the fish, and I don't really like the head. So there are about 3 of them, you can see. Okay. This is my owosoup, owosoup. It is very thick. More like it. So now I'll add this. This is salt. This is just a teaspoon of salt, because you know we added salt before when we were making our when we were boiling the meat. So here, grounded seasoning, just add that. That one, this grounded seasoning is also half tablespoon. So I just mix. It depends on how you want the soup to be, the consistency, the thickness. So this is how I want it to be. So I just added some water to it. So I'll let it cook for 10 more minutes and the soup is ready. The Delta owosoup will be ready. It's so tasty. So my Delta owosoup is ready. Can you guys see how the soup is looking? So the soup is ready. Delta owosoup is ready, and this soup can be served with starch. The Delta, they usually eat this soup with starch, but if you want, you can eat it with any swallow of your choice, any fufu of your choice. You can eat it with garri, fufu, eba, puree, but I'll be eating this soup with my starch because it really goes down very well with starch. So tasty and yummy. Tastes so good. Tastes so good. So in here I have starch. I already just added water into it. So the same starch that we use in thickening our owosoup, that's what we will use to be eating the owosoup. So now I'll just add a pinch of salt. So why am I adding salt? Because this starch is Europe starch. Hey, if it's Africa starch now, I will not need to. If it's coming from cassava, let me put it this way, I wouldn't need to add any salt. But because this starch is a potato starch, there is no cassava starch here in Italy, so we make use of this one that comes from potato. So if you want to make it, make sure you add pinch of salt so that it's going to like draw, you know. So now I'm going to like add my oil to change the color. So just add as much as this. So I'll just put it on fire and I'll just keep stirring before I know it will be ready, like ready. The starch, and this is how to make starch. So you just keep on stirring it like as I'm doing so. Just continue to like stir. You stir without stopping. You do the same thing continuously. Cool. So the starch is ready. This is how you know that the starch is ready, when this thing is it's coming out like this from the pot, all these parts. So you know that your starch is ready to be eaten. Okay.